That was a buzzard's call. Oh, no, it wasn't. Wow, this is amazing. That was a brilliant example of Eurasian jays mimic calls, you know. And you see, the jay got me, you know. I thought really that was a buzzard's call. Like, I was certain it was, you know. It sounded brilliantly. They could make it, you know. Just telling Dre not to eat anything there, because it looks like, sorry, I'm gonna continue with what I was saying later on, but it looks like our dear gamekeepers brought more stuff in, and guess what? It's more bread dough. Yep, more dough, because apparently it's the animal's favorite. No, it's not, because the old one is still here. Just kidding, obviously. But yeah, we got more dough sprinkled with sprinkled with, I don't know what that is, man. Really looks like a starch or flour, you know. There's too much of it for it to be cocaine. But yeah, there's a bit of grain, which is good. And here's more dough, of course, more dough. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. And this old one that was here, like, it's gonna be a week probably now, almost. It's still here, and it did not get, you know, munched on. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. It's just like, you know, it has a different shape because probably the animals were like probing it. But that's that. Yeah. But now they got more, so they can, you know, I don't know, take a look and walk away. I don't know what that is, and I don't know why they're giving it to them, but yeah, whatever. Anyways, and the bones are still there, surprisingly. Maybe the animals are, you know, they have their suspicion because there's a gamekeeper's lookout there, if you can see, and that's where they monitor the animals and shoot them too. So maybe they saw through that and they're, you know, not coming around anymore. I wish, you know, that would be the best for him, really, because they couldn't shoot, they cannot shoot them. That would be the case. But yeah, let's continue our walk. But man, that was an incredible, beautiful example of a Eurasian jay's mimic call, you know. And I really thought it was a buzzard, and it wasn't. It was jay, and they're doing this mimics call, you know, where they're mimicking a buzzard. And the reason why they're doing this, I read about this a long time ago. The reason why they're doing this is I think it's for their own protection. They're mimicking a predator, a bird of prey, and I think it's to their own advantage, you know, because they're spooking out other birds, and they're in a way like protecting themselves, you know, because they're pretending to be a bird that is, for one, much larger, that is a predator, you know. And it's like, I don't know, you know, fake it till you make it kind of thing. Now I would love to tell you the exact scientific reason why they're doing this thing, but to be frank, I don't recall, you know. I don't recall why exactly was that they're mimicking these sounds. There are many bird species that mimic sounds, such as a marsh warbler, for instance, which is Acrocephalus palustris in Latin, and that one is an incredible a bird mimic, you know, a species that can mimic, I don't know, like even 20, maybe 30 different species of birds. And when you listen to their calls and songs, and you know bird calls, you can hear like incredible, you know, wide range and array of different bird species coming from one bird, you know. And it's incredible. You can hear blackbird, you can hear starling, you can hear robin, you can hear all sorts of different species, and that sang by one singular bird. And what more, that marsh warbler is actually migrating a long ways. The bird is migrating to South Africa, and on its way and in its wintering grounds, that bird is listening to the calls of the local species there, and it is reproducing those calls and songs in its nesting regions and territories, you know. So when it comes back to nest in Europe, for instance, then you can hear the calls and songs of African species coming from the throat of this small tiny bird that is reproducing and mimicking their calls that it heard in winter in Africa, you know. So it's pretty incredible. And yeah, I've heard some calls that I've not recognized in marsh warbler, and it might have been some African species, you know, that it heard on its winter journey. So that's pretty cool. And then there are other species that can do the same thing. For instance, starling, you know, a very, very common bird in both Eurasia and also America, where it's invasive species. It's a bird that can mimic an incredible range of different songs and calls, and even it can even talk, and it can even mimic, you know, various different sounds, like, I don't know, cell phones and drills and cars and so on. So also an incredible bird mimic as well. And that what we heard there in the beginning of the video, that was an absolutely flawless mimic call of a buzzard, you know. And you see, I used to be an amateur ornithologist, you know. I wouldn't call myself that anymore, really, but I used to be an ornithologist, and I was fooled, you know. And I would consider myself to be pretty good with bird calls and bird songs, and I was like, yeah, that's a buzzard, you know. And I was about to tell you that, you know, be aware, sometimes that buzzard call can actually be a jay. I was ready to tell you that in the video, and funnily enough, it actually happened. It was a jay, you know. So yeah, when you hear a call like that, be aware. Sometimes, oh, hold on, there are some animals we spooked. Oh, look at that, there's a lot of them. I suppose they're, holy shit, what are they? I'm not sure, but there's a group of animals, the big ones probably, because it sounds like, yeah. Might have been deer, or might have been boars, but I'm not sure really. I thought I saw white there. I don't have my glasses with me, so I'm seeing a little blurry, but I feel like I saw white, and that usually is, you know, the backside of a deer or roe deer. So, and they're pretty common sight here in this area, so it might have been them. Sometimes they rest in these, you know, in these thorny blackberry shrubs. It's like they're favoring resting and hiding spot. So sometimes we spook them out here and they run out and change their hiding spot. Anyways, yeah. As I was saying, when you hear a buzzard's call or a bird of prey, it sounds like a, you know, this like hawk, sort of eagle, falcon type of call. Be aware that it could be a jay, you know, mimicking a bird of prey, actually. Flawlessly mimicking, really. That was so good. I was like, oh wow, buzzard, nice. And then right after that, jay made its classic, you know, alarm call that is like a classic jay, you know. And actually I even saw the bird. I'm not sure if it appeared in the video as well, but it was flying away and calling, which, you know, and gave itself away, actually, you know, that it's not a buzzard and it's a jay. So yeah, it was a pretty cool, unexpected encounter. And I'm glad we got it on video, because that was really, really cool. And I'm also very, very tired today. Kind of feel a little lightheaded. So I might be, my rhetoric, so to speak, might be a little rusty and probably weird, because I haven't slept much today. I wake up really early against my will. So yeah, apologies if I'm getting a little sidetracked and a little, you know, a little weird with the way I talk today. Yeah, haven't felt like that in a long time. It's like kind of as if I would, you know, like faint or something, you know. Yeah, lightheaded. Anyways, that was nice. I'm gonna shut up now. Got about a minute left. Ooh, nice. Heard that? Yeah, now that, because I can actually see the buzzard, you know, so that is undeniably a buzzard's call. It was a bit sharper, you know, louder, of course, as well, because it's a much bigger bird, much larger bird. But that was a buzzard's call. So that's cool. In one video, you could actually hear the fake buzzard in the beginning, and now you could have heard the actual real thing, you know, the real common buzzard. Buteo. Yeah. And yeah, since we are using Latin for the species, let's say the Not that I want to brag, that I know all the Latin, you know, Latin, that I know all the species in Latin too, you know. It's like, that's how good I am. No, but like let's also mention the Latin for J while we're at it, because you know I've categorized this YouTube channel as educational, so why not make use of it? So the Latin for Eurasian jay is Garrulus glandrius. So yeah, so we got it all, you know. That's the species we encountered today. Common buzzard, buteo, and Eurasian jay, Garrulus glandrius. Yeah. Man, I love it. You never know what you're gonna come across on these walks. Every day it's a surprise. Every day there's something new. And that's why I'm glad I started this channel and that I started recording my walks, because there are really all sorts of incredible adventures and incredible encounters that I come across. So I'm glad I can share it. So yeah, I'm signing off.